Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Hard Truth. Thank you so much for watching. Today, I want to give a shout out of love to AF for truly being a guardian angel and such a blessing to this channel. It's time to talk about the injuries that the Idaho Force sustained from one of the saddest crimes I've ever seen. So grab that coffee or a nice cup of tea as we begin our story.
And here we move on to our next victim. Now, when we look at this victim right here, we notice that she's got a knife wound in her leg, probably impaled to her big bone, the femur. And slashes, we see a lot of bleeding. And stabs, we see internal organ injuries right here. So with Lori here, she's got this stab wound and it's stuck into her leg. Lucky for her, it went into her large bone, the femur, because it probably prevented the suspect from continuing or repeating the stabs there. Statistically, people that have been stabbed or slashed don't even see their assailant until they've been stabbed or slashed several times. So Lori looks like she's fared through this pretty well. So anyway, let's approach Lori here. And again, we're going to make sure the scene is safe. I want to introduce myself, make sure she knows who I am, and I'm here to help her. She's probably not going to be sitting here calm like this, especially when somebody is looking down at a big knife stuck in their leg there. Again, you want to refrain from letting people know how bad it is. I don't see arterial bleeding. I don't see capillary bleeding. I don't see venous bleeding. It looks like the bleeding is actually stopped, probably by the knife itself. So what I want to do with Lori immediately, so she's not staring at this, is I'm going to bring her down in this shock position here. So I'm going to lay her all the way down. And again, as I lay her down, I'm going to look from head to toe and make sure that I address the most serious injury first, and then go on and do the head to toe assessment.
John Clapp made two interesting points here. Number one, he distinguished between a slash wound and a stab wound. When someone is slashed, the blood loss is faster and greater than a stab wound. But the stab wound causes internal injuries.
This was a brutal weapon. It sounds like it was a professional type weapon that couldn't break. And they weren't stab wounds. They were like large punctures.
This article was published by Fox News on December the 12th, and it says, the father of slain University of Idaho student Kaylee Gonsalves told Fox News Digital that the victims had big open gouges that were clearly the work of a sadistic male, and called police cowards for not sharing more with the public. I find it odd that Mr. G would assume this early on that there was only one perpetrator, since there were 4 victims in one house. I don't know. I guess that's a topic for another video. And it says, Stephen Gonsalves said he asked the coroner, Kathy Mabott, how many times the victims were stabbed. She says, sir, I don't think stabs is the right word. It was like tears, like this was a strong weapon, not like a stab. She said these were big open gouges. It was quick. These weren't something where you were going to be able to call 911. They were not going to slowly bleed out. I'm not sure how Miss Mabott could say it was quick or much else for that matter, because the bodies remained in that house for a very long time, before the coroner arrived, and even longer before an actual autopsy was performed. The reports of Kaylee's injuries indicate that she was stabbed multiple times, which should have produced less blood loss than Xana's wounds. If Xana's fingertips were severed, this is the result of slashing, which produces more blood and would explain the blood that we've seen seeping from the walls of Xana's bedroom. Number 2, John also stated that the victim usually doesn't realize that they're being slashed or stabbed until they've actually been cut multiple times. The report of Kaylee and Xana's injuries indicate that their wounds were much more severe than Maddie's and Ethan's. In my opinion, this could be because Maddie and Ethan were asleep, or they were attacked first. Therefore, Xana and Kaylee had the opportunity to realize they were being attacked and fight back or try to defend Ethan and Maddie.
On the night of the murders, Christy and Steve Gonsalves's daughter Kaylee was in the same bed as her childhood friend, Maddie Mogen. The Gonsalveses say coroner Kathy Mabbitt told them before a gag order the killer attacked Maddie first, then moved on to Kaylee.
There's evidence to show that she awakened and tried to get out of that situation.
They say she cried out, and her wounds show she fought for her life.
The way the bed was set up is what
She was trapped.
She was trapped.
Xana also fought back. According to her father, she had severe defensive wounds.
She went down fighting.
I believe so. It's upsetting to think about.
What do you think about this one? Do you believe Maddie and Kaylee were already in the same bed? Do the calls from Kaylee and Maddie's phones around 2:45 a.m. prove this? Also, where do you believe Ethan and Xana were at the beginning of the attack? Well, it's time for our Super Saturday survey, which you can find on the Hard Truth community page. The question for today is, who was assaulted first? Maddie and Kaylee, Ethan and Xana, Maddie and Xana, or Ethan and Kaylee? Or, I have no idea, I'll just see what everybody else says. Be sure to vote and perhaps provide your rationale for your decision in the comments. I will place this link to this survey in the comments section for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Happy holidays, and as always, much love.